Welcome back, everyone. This is Chris again with Virtual Firearms Association. And as always, bringing you the latest tips and tricks that you can use to help make you a better and more efficient shooter when it comes to your firearm. But before we get started, go ahead and click on those links below. Take advantage of those free gifts that we have available. We're still giving away the free Basic Marksmanship Enhancement class, as well as virtual targets that you can download, print, and utilize at the range. All right, now that we have it, let's get it started. Are you someone who's been to the range and you've tried countless times of trying to make sure your shots are as accurate as possible, but it seems like they kind of go all over the place, maybe to the left, to the right, and just scatter and everything like that? I've actually made a video about this, but it's a new technique that I started trying to teach my students in person that I want to share with you on this channel as well, because I've seen some improvement with a lot of people shooting just with this. So just sit back, relax, and just listen to what it is that I got to say in regards to this, and it may help you. I want you to think of things like this. Your firearm inside your hand and everything like that. Let's just pretend that the gun is in your hand right now, because I want you to focus on my hand at the moment. So when you are holding your firearm, just like this, your wrist has the ability of moving in every single direction, left, right, up, down, all over the things, all over the place. So you would think that it would be simple if I just say, hey, just keep your arm still. But you're not going to be able to do that if you're breathing, the recoil of the gun, anticipation, and things like that. Your gun is going to pretty much go all over the place, okay? So I want you to think of it as you hold it as straight as possible, like focus on your wrist, that you actually keep your wrist still with a firm grip. So I'm going to show you a couple more tips. Just keep that in mind, okay? I want you to think of a vice or a clamp or something that actually squeezes and holding things in place. So for example, like a vice grip, one of those tools that you twist and they get smaller, 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 and then it just actually holds the object in place. Think of your firearm like that. Because if you were to hold a gun just like this and actually fire it down range like this, every single one of those rounds are just going to go straight, without a doubt. I mean, that's like picture perfect shooting. I'm sorry, picture perfect shooting when it comes to if you can keep the gun in this exact position while you're shooting down range. Not realistic, but you can get as close as possible to actually making it happen. So with these things going on in the back of your head, I want you to also focus on your grip. This right here on this back strap, keep your hand as high as possible on that back strap, just like you see here, all right? It's not gonna make a difference if you have a strong grip or not, if you're holding the gun down here. Because the first thing that's gonna happen is as that gun is going bang, bang, each one of those rounds is gonna flip up. It's gonna flip up, flip up, flip that. This is not here for a decoration. It's actually there for your hand to actually catch it. So each time a round is actually going off, if the gun or the muzzle rises, it's actually going to kick back and your hand will catch it to help prevent muzzle flip at the same exact time. So make sure you keep your hand high up on that backstrap just like that. Also, the grip of your gun. We always say, hey, hold the gun grip, don't hold the gun loose or whatever. So if you're holding the gun and you have a strong grip on it, not to the point where you're squeezing it so tight that your hand is actually shaking and blood is actually leaving your hand, hands turning white and things like that. No, no, no. Think of it like a firm handshake as you're greeting somebody. Everybody has greeted somebody at some point and shake somebody's hand. A firm handshake. That's how I want you to grab the gun. Grab it, keep it firm, just like this. Take this support hand, which is what you see here. Your support hand is your non-dominant hand, which I'm right-handed, so the left hand would be my support hand. You'll take that hand and actually wrap it around, starting at the bottom of the gun, just like this, and put it just like that. So this finger that you have on this right side of the gun, It's almost like I had that same exact finger on the left side of the gun, just like that. So while holding the gun just like that, you need to ensure that you have equal pressure on both sides, in which you are actually making that clamp that I was telling you about. So if you can just apply that pressure on both sides of the firearm, holding it the same exact way with a high grip, I can definitely ensure that your shots are going to probably be going where they need to go, and you'll be shooting a lot better. All right. You keep that firm grip. You have that right hand placement on it. Another thing it could be is that sometimes some of the guns might be too big for your hand or it might be too small for your hand. You got to figure out like what's best for you and actually works better for you. And at the same exact time, every single time you go to the range, when you are firing those rounds, you need to ensure that you are consistent with everything that you're doing as far as your hand placement on your gun. For those of you, some people, this might be comfortable for you, but this is not the correct way that you need to be holding your firearm. So, like I said, move your hand up and ensure that you're high up on that back strap to make sure it's where it needs to be. I've also seen different grips as far as people holding the gun and have their thumbs up here, behind each other, twisted, and things like that. You don't want to do that at all. One, if that slide goes back and hits your thumb, it'll probably take your thumb with you. So ensure that you're not doing that. Hand up here, both thumbs facing forward, as you see here, to ensure those rounds are going straight down range. Ultimately, it depends on the shooter. It depends on how often you practice. It depends on your breathing. It depends on a lot of steps. But one of the first things that you have to do just when it comes to you shooting your firearm is actually getting your grip, right? Because you got to pick up your gun. You're going to have to do that over and over and over and over and over again. So with what I just told you, practice, practice again, and practice again as well. I ensure that you will be able to become a better shooter if you actually try these techniques. This is just one of the ways that I started trying to teach some of the students that I teach in person. And I've definitely seen a dramatic increase as far as the accuracy with firearms. This is one of the ways that I've seen it work. Of course, there's a million and other ways out there, and there's other gun channels and things like that that teach different other kind of methods. So do some research, explore some of these other channels, explore what I have to say, try what works best for you. As long as you're safe and you're safe around everybody else, that's all that matters. But practice is the key to getting yourself better. And that's all I have at this time. Next week, we'll probably talk about maybe your breathing and or your stance and some of the other steps to help ensure that you become a better shooter as well as far as with your grip. I just feel that the grip is probably one of the most important steps to get you where you need to be. It's a starting point, and we all got to start somewhere. So, like I said, that's all I had this time, and I'll see you later. Stay blessed and stay safe.